Hello, everyone. This is Rashmi Bandari, and today we have a very interesting topic that's going to be covered, and this is specifically for the civil engineers. There's always this dilemma in the civil engineers' mind that whether what they have done is right or wrong, whether this choice of civil engineering is good or not. So today we are going to discuss about civil engineering as a career, what are the opportunities and what are the challenges. And helping me with this is Mr. VP Lobo. I'm so happy to have with us Mr. VP Lobo. And just to tell
Thank you
you a
so much.
little bit about him, he is the chairman and managing director of T3 Urban. He has spent the last 23 years in civil engineering field and in real estate. He's been the CEO of large construction companies like Evershine Group, Rustomji, Agarwal Group, Marg. He's also a prolific blogger, motivational speaker, guest lectures in various reputed institutes. He's also a trainer and philanthropist. So, welcome, Mr. Lobo.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Yes, Mr. Lobo. So the audience is basically engineers and faculty and students. So I just want to ask with you, how is civil engineering as a career? I mean, what would you say about that?
First of all, a very warm welcome to all the audience. And what a question and what a timing. Yeah. Presently, real estate is going through the double whammy. One is of recession, which was already existing, and we were already struggling, and add to that the COVID-19 situation. Having said that, uh, in my latest blog, which I wrote just yesterday, I don't know if you've read it. The I have I started from the evolution of real estate since 30,000 BC. It is the most original investment form in the history of mankind, which means war or no war, recession or no recession, COVID or no COVID. Real estate has survived everything. Real estate has overcome everything. So, at one place, I even write, be sure real estate will overcome this recession and COVID-19 too. Now, coming to the real estate as a career or a civil engineering as a career for anybody, especially for the students, it is noteworthy that every year we get lakhs and lakhs of students coming out of engineering colleges, and majority of them are from civil engineering for obvious reasons. One thing that I must tell all the civil engineers who are coming out of the engineering colleges is that do not lose hope, do not lose heart. This is one of the largest industry in the world. This is coming to India. This is the second largest employment generation industry in the country. This is the second largest contributor to the GDP of our country. So you're not a part of this small industry which can die, just like if any of you as a young boy or a young girl would have heard dot-com bubble. This is
Mhm.
not a dot-com industry.
Yes.
This is real estate industry. This is infrastructure industry. This is where civil engineering will thrive. Whether it is Taj Mahal or a Victoria Terminus railway station or a beautiful building in your city, wherever you are, civil engineering has survived and it has been there since ages. So this is what I would like to. This is the message that I would like to give to the civil engineering career. I mean, aspirants.
Yeah, thank you for this very positive note. So, having said this, we see a lot of civil engineers coming out. However, the core job opportunities are not as high. I mean, traditionally, also, over the past few years, we've seen that they don't get that many core opportunities, and many of them have to shift into IT. Now, what is the major thing that a student can do if they do not get into a core company in campus?
Madam, I must tell you one thing about civil engineering industry or engineering in general for a small city or a tier 3 city student. The opportunities for any engineering student in a smaller city are very limited. Same goes with the civil engineering industry or real estate industry. So a student who has got a civil engineering college in a smaller city not necessarily will get a civil engineering opportunity in the same place. That is number one. Number two, today IT and ITES companies, that is services companies, they are in a hiring spree as far as other faculties are concerned for simply for two reasons. One, if they go for BE IT or BE BSc or any science graduate or an engineer, information technology graduate, they have to pay more. But the moment they go to a civil engineer or a mechanical engineer who would like to forget that he has done civil engineering
Mhm.
and would like to start afresh in the IT industry, obviously he is willing to start at a lesser pay and more glamour. But for a civil engineer, I bet, I tell you, uh, I have got various examples. I'm sure, madam, you know me as a career planner and a career counsel and a seminar giver also.
Yes,
I
Mr.
have,
Logan.
yeah, I have so in your college also have come
Yeah,
for
you had, I know, and
educational.
and because of that, I actually wanted you specifically to address the students.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
I must tell you, I have classical examples where classmates of mine who did their civil engineering and then went into some IT field. But there are classmates who did civil engineering and who stuck to civil engineering are drawing at least 5 times more salary today than the guy who joined IT industry.
Okay.
So perseverance in civil engineering is a little longer. It's like a CA, chartered accountant. With great difficulty, you did your chartered accountancy, and then you all of a sudden you find that when you come out of your complete your CA and you start your internship or something, you suddenly find a BCom student who has just completed his BCom. He is very close to your pay scale. But couple of years down the lane, a chartered accountant, he zooms. The same goes with the civil engineering industry. A guy who is really, really hardworking, a civil engineer, can really, really go on to draw huge salaries. For example, I must tell you, I have been a CEO of Rustamji, a big company, among the top 5 companies in Mumbai. The construction head of this company, who has done his master's in civil engineering, is drawing 7 crore rupees per annum. It's a
Yeah,
huge figure.
I know,
It's a
absolutely.
huge figure.
So
So,
how does,
uh,
yeah.
sorry. So this is a message for those the students out there who are doing civil engineering, not to lose hope. Of course, he didn't start salary at 7 crore rupees from the day one after his college. It takes time.
Okay,
Yes,
so
madam.
no, it's very heartening to hear that civil engineers are doing so well, because very few examples are there. At least what we hear in a small town. So, if a student does not get a job in college, what should he or she do? You please recommend suggestions, because this is where they get absolutely lost.
I must tell you, uh, the only option for any aspiring engineer today in a small city is to move to a bigger city. It could be Bangalore, Mumbai, Delhi, Calcutta, Chennai, Hyderabad. These cities are thriving on real estate, and there are plenty of opportunities here. And starting will be difficult. Yeah, the pay scale may not be as attractive as it could have been. And post COVID, this is going to be a norm for all the industries that the pay scales will be, further brought down. But not to lose hope. 2 years down the lane, you will be back on track. You will make the same money as any engineering student would have aspired to. But a 2 year initial stage of struggle is going to help you, and it will make you much stronger, and you will earn more and you will get a better pay.
All right. I'm just getting into, the minds of a student and asking you this question. Like you said that we have to go to a city. Now, go to a city and hunt for a job, or right here apply to those construction companies and then get it, and then, go. Because going to the city itself, is a challenge for many, because, they'll have to spend a lot of money for stay, and, it's, all the other expenses that are involved. So what would you say? Apply wherever they are, or right now and online? And if so, or do they have to go and knock on the doors personally, and meet people? If you could please suggest a few things practically what they can do.
Madam, we are living in a information technology world. Wherever you are, there are so many job portals. There are so many online applications. Today every real estate company has their own web page on their website, which talks about the career opportunities in their company. So select, say, 100 companies. Help your students to select 100 companies, noteworthy companies in every city, 100 in every city,
Mm.
and go to the website of those companies directly, where there is a career opportunities page, and apply directly. This is one method. If you apply for 100, I'm sure you're going to get calls from at least 10. That's a strike rate 10%, at least for interviews. The other method is there are job portals. which is like an ocean. So you may not get, specific opportunity. They might send you various other opportunities to confuse you further. But this is a sure shot method that applying directly into the real estate companies on their web page. For example, I run T3 Urban Developers Limited. I have a web page. I'm a very small company, but at the same time, I have got a web page. On my website, I've got a page, career opportunities. So same goes with L&T. Any large companies or small companies today have got career opportunities company. This is my suggestion for every city. Somebody wants to go to Delhi. There are thousands of real estate companies in Delhi. There are thousands of companies in real estate companies in Mumbai. So choose 100 and apply.
100 in each city and apply.
Yes, 100 in each city, whichever city you would like to go to.
Yes, yes,
It
yes.
is hard work. It is
Yeah.
hard work. It is tough work. And most of the real estate companies these days have cut down their employees by 30%, cut down the pay scales by up to 50%. So it is going to be very, very challenging. So we need to make our students mentally tough, and physically tough they are because they're in civil engineering.
No, but thank you so much, because this is really what I really wanted to hear. And I think applying for 100 companies in each city, even if it's tough, but life is tough, so you better get
Absolutely.
used to it. So I
It's
don't
going to
think
be
that,
tougher.
yes, it will be tougher, and there's no shortcut, in life.
Yes,
So I think you
right.
better get going. So this is a very good message. Thank you so much. And I going on, I just want to ask you. So how long does a civil engineer take to gradually rise? The ladder.
Yeah. Madam, in my 23 years long experience in this industry, I have seen a civil engineering student. In fact, I also do the campus recruitment. And if I give example in my own company, I recruited from somewhere from South. I think Vivekananda College, somewhere nearby to your college. Um, he within a matter of 1.5 year, he was in a his salary was double
Okay.
within a matter of 1.5 years time. And I also seen as a professional where I was CEO of multiple companies. There are engineers whom I recruited as freshers directly from the college. Some have taken 2 years to get their salaries double, and some have taken 3 years to get their salaries double. And I must tell you, majority of the students whom I have recruited in my life, they are either general managers today, they are vice presidents today, they are CTOs today, chief technical officers today, drawing salaries close to 70 lakh, 80 lakh rupees per annum. But that's over a period of 10 to 15 years.
Yes.
Yes, the initial 2, 3 years, struggle is a must. And that goes same with every industry. Even if somebody wants to become a Bollywood hero, initially he has to struggle for the first 2, 3 years before he gets his big break.
Absolutely. I think, like they say, overnight success takes around 20 years. So no
Yeah.
one sees the struggle, the initial struggle. And Mr. Lobo, another thing, like there are a lot of girls, I see a lot of girls entering this field. So what would you say for the girls?
Yes, I still the memory is fresh when I this question was raised when I think few years ago when I came to your college in Mangalore for a particular seminar, and I could see a lot of young girls taking up civil engineering faculty. Uh, this is not the phenomenon in big cities. This is a phenomenon in smaller cities. It's little. I normally don't encourage girls to take up civil engineering job or civil engineering faculty. I normally tell them choose IT or ITS. Having said that, whoever has chosen already the civil engineering faculty, I have two suggestions to you, or rather two options for them. One is after your civil engineering, shift to IT, ITES because they are anyway offering the jobs to you. If not, join some architecture firm because site working at the construction site is not going to be easy for ladies because there the normal working functioning style of an office is not there. Or you have to join a very large company and they will make you sit at a corner, make some drawings and all this kind of thing. So the core activities will not be given to them. So the opportunities are getting limited. So unfortunately, just like army, civil engineering also is male driven. It's very difficult to break the glass barrier.
All right. But having said this, if there's someone who's really very keen, and I mean, are there role models for girls, ladies who have done exceptionally well?
Yeah, in architectures, yes. I mean, after your BE or BE, then if they would like to do B.Arch for 4 years or a 5 years degree, architecture, yes, there are ladies who have done exceedingly well. But civil engineering, hardcore civil engineering, very, very less. At the most, you will end up working with an architecture firm, creating drawings, CAD CAM, that's all. So that on career front, civil engineering for ladies, there are limitations. But architecture, there is definitely a bigger scope. Or interior design, you want to, as a civil engineer, you want to subsequently take up interior designing, yes, then that is a possibility.
Yes, and thank you so much. I love
Most
what I
welcome.
love about this is the honesty and the clear cut thing. Because this gives a very clear idea as to what is there, what should I do, and what shouldn't I be doing. My next question to you, Mr. Lobo, would be now because of COVID, what do you think? I mean, of course, it's challenging, like you said, but any new challenges further because are people buying homes? I mean, is construction really going on, and everyone is working from home, so office spaces are lying empty. So what do you see as the future?
Madam, as far as the COVID is concerned, as I told you at the beginning of the opening remark, this industry has seen wars, pandemics, plagues, recessions. It has survived everything.
Yes.
Real estate will survive everything.
Yeah.
If Taj Mahal could survive so many invasions in this country, I mean, real estate is nothing but created forever. You have monuments created thousands of years back, which are still existing. So COVID will also, be one of the event that is in our life. It cannot go on and on and on forever. It will survive. Now, during the lockdown, yes, everywhere the construction has come to a standstill. That is the order that the government has given. So during the lockdown, yes, work has come to a standstill. Now, post-lockdown rather, COVID will continue to be with us for the next couple of years' time. That's what we understand. But post-lockdown, yes, the economic activities or the in particular construction activities for it to uh, take off will take time. It will not take off instantly. The operating capacity will start from anywhere from 10% to 20%, 30%. It will take at least a year's time before the total construction activities come back to normal, to 100%. So 10% is what you can start with post lockdown. And over a period of 3 to 6 months' time, it will come to 50%. And from 6 months to 12 months, it might come to 100%, subject to the support of the government policies and the demand picking up.
Okay. I also want to ask you this: like, if I'm a student studying civil engineering, what sort of an internship or project should I be doing in order to increase my employability?
The very good question this is. During the course, during the 3 years or 4 years of your engineering college, every holiday a student must utilize. Every holiday without wasting a single day, a student must utilize to take up an internship at construction site, preferably in residential, because that is a larger section. 90% is residential and 10% is commercial. So every holiday, whether it could be a small bungalow happening in your neighborhood or a large mall taking up in say 15-20 kilometers away from your house in a small city, or a residential building happening about say 30-40 kilometers away from your house. But during the holiday, a student must not waste a single day but take up an internship in any under construction site.
Oh, that's a wonderful tip. And any project, because every student comes up with projects. So, what sort of projects can civil students take up?
Yeah. The civil student should, as I said, every internship, every holidays, they should not waste a single day for a project. Suppose in your neighborhood or in the vicinity, a slab is being cast. A coordination can be done with the site of that or with that company. And on that particular day, on the slab casting day, a student can go there, wait for the whole slab to be casted throughout the day, and make a project report, which includes right from the chemical composition of the RCC, the bar bending done, the steel consumed, the cement consumed, the number of labors consumed, the hours that are consumed. A very good project report can be made for that particular slab, which can be a template for other students to know exactly what a slab is. Similarly, in under construction site, student can go and make a project report on electrical and or MEP, which is a very crucial part of most of the civil students. They are not very well exposed to the MEP part. So MEP can be taken up as a project. If there is a new project getting launched, the foundation laying or the plinth coming up, how the plinth is laid, how the measurements are done, what are the equipments that are used while excavation is being done. This particular project report can be made. So civil engineering, plenty of reports can be done. Unlike IT and ITES, there are not many project reports can be done in those ways. Here there are, for every nook and corner you can find a project report.
I'm sure this is going to give a lot of ideas to the students because they will start thinking on these lines. I also want to ask you, because there are a lot of faculty who watch this, how should they actually, take this in the engineering college, the curriculum, because it's more of theory based. So, any tip for the faculty, so in order to enhance their teaching and engage the students?
Yeah, 2 years I was in United States for about 25 days. I went for some work, and I lived in US for about 25 days just for my business work. And I happened to interact with the engineering students of that country, how engineering is being taught there. Unfortunately, it was not civil engineering that I could interact with, but some other engineering. But in general, even the lecturer, professor who said they have 70-30 ratio. I was under the impression that it was 90-10. It was 70% practical and 30% theory.
Oh,
So most of their engineering students, they say, is uh, not in the classroom. He's always at the site. Either a virtual site or real physical site. So the best method to teach engineering for any student or for any professor or any lecturer of engineering is to take the student to the site, virtual site or physical site. I can give you one example. I mean, it's difficult for you to take 60, 70, 100 students to a construction site. It may, maybe sometimes builders may not permit, but you can always have a virtual site. So you can take a permission for installing a web camera at the site, or maybe a student is there at the site, and from there like I and you are, we are into different cities now, and
yes.
so technology is there. So that can be arranged, and in the classroom on your screen, you can actually see what's happening at the construction site. A slab is being casted, or excavation is being done, or a plinth is being made. So everything can be live. It can be covered.
Yeah. So that's a
So,
very good thing. Yeah. And I think
so
with
virtual,
COVID, yeah, I think with COVID, most of things are going to go virtual, and I think that's a good idea that faculty can take up. And if the faculties don't take up, I think students who are watching, please tell your faculty that you would want your classes to be like that.
yeah, even for faculty, I've got a small another tip. Suppose you have a particular topic for the day, a subject for the day, and you know it for 1 week in advance. On so and so date, I'm going to teach so and so subject. Pick up a construction site, coordinate. No builder will say no for it to cover it in the live engineering college. For the builder, it could be an advertisement as well. Okay, my site is getting covered in an engineering college. So set up a small camera there, web camera or a laptop or whatever, just like the way I and you are on the laptop now. So and the teacher the professor can directly show it on the screen, so the students interest in the lecture also will increase. Wow, I'm seeing directly a construction site. I'm not just listening to some theory. I'm
Yeah.
actually seeing the construction site.
Yeah. So thank you very much for sharing this. Finally, I want to ask you any message for the students and students who have just passed out. Any message for civil engineers?
Yeah, yes, those who have just passed out, they are in their worst situation at the moment. Unemployment is at 45 years high in the country today. It is not easy on those students. Those young boys and girls are literally hunting for job, and the COVID comes in. This is going to be a very, very tough time. Besides my prayers and blessings with them, I must assure them that this is not going to be permanent. Sun will rise again, darkness will go away, real estate industry will do well, civil engineers will do extremely well in the coming years. What we can expect is we are going to start from zero all over again, which means there is only one way to go, and that is up. It can't be worse than this. So, students, Boys and girls, don't lose your hope, don't lose heart. We are at the extreme bottom now. From here, there's only one way to go, and that is up, up, and up.
Thank you very much, Mr. Lobo. End with a very positive note, and I think students, we should just gear up for this situation. And once again, Mr. Lobo, thank you so very much. If you don't mind, I'll be sharing your website link at the description box so that students come to know about it.
Yeah,
T3.
I must tell you, I keep writing blogs on real estate. These
I
blogs,
will
they
also
should
share
read.
the link of your blog in the
Yes, yes.
description, so that students can actually have a look at it. And I hope this session was helpful to all of you. Thank you very much.